Hey friends, Robert Imbrielli here. It is about a month now since we began the quarantining and the shutting down of California and probably your state as well. And I wanted to come in today and sort of talk about some of the things that are going on and some things you can do as a man, as a woman, as a business owner, as an adult to really, put yourself back on track here because a lot of people have been terribly derailed by this. And I get it. I hear the messages. I hear people calling me now and sending messages, including friends, including family members who, are buying in and listening to the media, and it's just scaring them to no end. And, I understand it. It's not something I'm judging. It's just something I understand. And I really believe you and I right now, we have two choices. We can, number one, remain in what I like to call suspended animation, right? Suspended animation means we're just waiting. We're waiting for the next shoe to drop. We're waiting for the next thing to happen. We're waiting for somebody to say, hey, it's okay, go back to work. We're waiting for something to happen some way, out there, right? That's one way of dealing with it. And it's not the way I choose to deal with it. Instead, I'm more of a take action kind of guy. So I'm going to tell you, I have not stopped. I've been working every single day as best I can. I'm in the studio for a little bit today, but I have a remote computer set up at home as well, and I'm able to do a fair amount of work there. The only thing I can't do is any kind of broadcasting because the internet connection just won't support it. So if I want good internet, I've got to come into the studio and get some recording done and get some videos done. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more of that because I know that the messaging is really important out there. So a lot of people have been saying, hey, go out there and, use this time effectively, go read a book, write a book, create a podcast, do all this kind of things that you could do kind of at home. But what if you're the type of person who's not in the mood to do any of that, right? You're paralyzed from fear. You're paralyzed because you're not sure what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. I get it. It's hard. And making those decisions to strike out and, I'm going to start something new. When everything around you is falling apart, it's hard to do that. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's hard for a lot of people. And I get it. I hear this again and again. This is a great message, but, for a lot of people, they're just not there. And I know it. It's a natural thing to feel that way. But at some point, you got to move past that. You got to get into action. Now, especially for us men, action is really, really important. See, doing nothing is probably the worst possible thing you can do. People are saying, oh, I'm putting on weight. Oh my God, everything. It's like doing nothing is the worst thing you can do. So I would say get active, right? If you can go for a walk, go for a walk. If you can get on a treadmill, go on a treadmill. That stuff is great, but that's not the action I'm really talking about. The action I'm really talking about is how are you going to move the needle and in your career, in your life, how are you going to keep it moving forward, right? Everything's shut down. I can't do anything. And okay, I hear it. I hear that message again and again, but there's still a lot you can do. And you've got to get away from the fear. And what I advise my clients and friends and family to do, turn off the media. The media is not helping, right? The media is just amping up the fear. And in my view, and I could be wrong about this, but in my view, the numbers I'm seeing don't support the hype. Right. And they rarely do. I mean, that's kind of normal to this event or any event. And, so turn it off and get away from it. I literally don't listen to the media at all on the weekend, other than what I see in Facebook on the weekend. Nah, not turning it on. There's no need. I'll turn it on for maybe 5-10 minutes in the morning. Is there anything important for me there? No, nothing. Move on, turn it off, put on some music, go do something else. So I've been in action. I've been continuing to do as much as I possibly can within the parameters of what's allowed, right? Going to do the things that I can do to keep the ball rolling, keep things going. For men, this is especially true. Now, I'm going to give you something I learned from Dr. John Gray, which kind of surprised me, will probably surprise you. And you may even say, no, Rob, that's not true. That's not the way it works. But it does. I dug into it a little bit further, and he absolutely is right. Men, when we get into action and we build things and we solve problems and we get out there and we go to work each day, we're generating and building up our testosterone stores, right? And you say, okay, so testosterone, that's the one that makes men violent, right? No, actually, it's the opposite. Now, this was surprising to me, but actually higher levels of testosterone make men calmer. right? We're able to deal with more of the crazy out there, deal with more of the challenges, the problems, and all that kind of thing. And it calms us down. The problem when men do nothing, this is a challenge for men. When we do nothing, we just sit around, testosterone levels go down, and the opposite hormone, the estrogen levels, start to rise. The higher the estrogen levels go in a man, the more angry, the more disgruntled, the harder he is to be around. And eventually, if they go high enough, he becomes violent. You might say, well, wait a minute, estrogen makes men violent? Yeah, no, it surprised me too when I first heard it. It's actually the opposite of what we believe. So we've got to find a way to get something done. So guys, I'm talking to you specifically for this part, and find those things around the house that need to be fixed, right? That light switch, it doesn't work anymore. Go do it. Go fix it. I know you don't feel like it. I know this is bogging you down. Just do it anyway. Go, work in the garden a little bit. Go do something that's manual, that's physical. Go do something where you feel like you're solving a problem, because that's what we are as men designed to do. Now, challenge on the relationship side is when we don't do this and our estrogen level starts to go up and we become grumpy and angry and, we're complaining a lot. What happens in the relationship? Is that what your woman wants? No, not at all. What does she want? She wants a strong man, a confident man. She wants her man to go out there and be happy and do what a man has to do and come home and, take care of her. And when that doesn't happen, it puts a lot of strain on the relationship. So I see a lot of relationships right now, not all of them, but a lot of them are strained, because men are not out there taking action, not out there doing the things that they need to do. So I'm going to encourage you guys to find something you can do. I have been finding stuff every single day to do. And, anything from repairing the fountain in the backyard that was broken for some time and, got that fixed, got it squared away, doing a little bit of gardening, doing a little hiking, doing, whatever I can to keep myself active and keep myself out there and in the game. And yes, I'm doing work. And yes, I'm doing videos. I'm trying to do a video a day, and I'm doing the things that really just light up my soul, because there's stuff going on out there, but truth is there's always stuff going on out there. It's never a time when there isn't stuff going on out there, and you just got to kind of tune it out, and let's come back to reality here. What can I do for me to make sure my day is as good as it possibly can be? One thing that helps a lot, and I know it sounds silly, it's simple, but try not to change your habits too much from the way they are when things are quote unquote normal, right? So I do the same thing every day. I get up around the same time. I'll have breakfast. I'll do what I normally do, cook breakfast. I'll clean up, get a shower in. And then I iron my clothes. I put my clothes on. I get dressed up. I'm ready for the day. Whatever the day is going to bring, I'm going to be ready for it. That routine alone keeps me from being totally capsized. And a lot of people recognize that we like to ignore it sometimes, but we are creatures of habit. We are creatures of habit. And what that means is that the more of those habits that are disrupted, the more off balance and off kilter we feel. So try to keep as many of those habits in place as you possibly can, and keep doing the things that you would normally do under normal circumstances as much as is possible. And you'll find that this is going to be a little less unsettling for you. Okay, a couple of other things that I see people doing. They're stewing in the fear. And one of the challenges we have with our media is sensationalized. I don't blame them for it. That's their business model. Their business model is, let's scare you so that you stay connected and you keep watching. And every hour, every minute you watch, all those ads that are coming by, every time they throw an ad up there, they're making money. And the more people that watch, the more money they make. That's the business model. It's nothing hidden. It's nothing criminal. That's the business model. And, fear is a very, very, very powerful motivator. And the more scared you are, the more glued to the television, the more glued to the websites you're going to be. But it doesn't help you. It helps them. So, tune that stuff out. I know a lot of people are paralyzed in fear, and wrong place to be. So what you can do, I'll give you a couple of things that you can do here. I listen to multiple sources of information. So mainstream media, very little, right? I don't listen to it a whole lot. Just want to know kind of the gist of what they're talking about so I can have an honest conversation with people. I know what you're hearing. I know what you're learning. But I also look to other sources of media and alternative media. I look for left wing, right wing. I look for, companies or websites that are in the natural health area. For some reason, they have a lot of information that you're not hearing in mainstream media about this virus and how to solve it and how to protect yourself against it, that kind of thing. So I gather it all up. And then what I do is I go to what I call in my common sense corner. I got this from Tony Robbins. Brilliant, brilliant idea. Common sense corner. How much of this makes sense? How much of it really is something I need to be worried about? And what I find more often than not is like I'll pick a little piece here, a little piece here, a little piece here, and then you can kind of connect the dots and you get a new reality based on the information you've taken in. So a lot of the things that I've been doing is been doing that. It's like, okay, where does it add up? Where does it make sense? Where's the common sense in all this? Where is, the things I need to be concerned about? Where are the things that are just hyped and I don't have to worry about? And it's really given me, a nice pathway forward. And I share that with my friends and family. I don't share it in this public venue because I know people who are scared tend to be very attacking, and I don't need any of that, nor do you. So I kind of hold those opinions to myself, and I'll share them with people that I'm close to and that kind of thing. But you want to do that for yourself. You want to find your common sense corner and you want to say, okay, here's what I heard here. Here's what I heard here. Which of this makes sense? Maybe there's a little bit of truth here, a little bit of truth here, or the actual truth maybe somewhere in the middle, which is normally where you find it. And, this is what makes the most logical sense in terms of what I believe, in terms of what I know to be fact or truth. And when you do that, it calms you down. It's like, okay, I listen to the news and I get rattled too. It's like, I got to stop this. I got to stop this. And I stop it, turn it off, and I think about it and I go, okay, where's the common sense in all this? What is it that I really need to be concerned with here? And for the most part, I find that a lot of it is just overblown, overplayed. It's almost like the news organizations are in competition. Who can hype the thing the most, right? This goes up this high, and then these guys come along, they go this high, then these guys come back and go this high. And it's like, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just wonder, what kind of reporting's happening? Are they just watching the other station, the other guys, see what they pull up, and they're reporting the same thing? It's kind of a mess, and it's really bringing to the forefront for a lot of people how untrustworthy a lot of our quote-unquote news sources are, because they're not really news sources. They're businesses. They're commercial entities that make money from advertising, and the more viewers they can attract, the more money they make. And when you have money involved in news, you don't really get news. You get basically, sensationalized stuff that it sort of falls more in the category for me of entertainment. I look at it from that perspective when I watch the news. It's entertainment, and they're trying to get you riled up. That's what they want to do. And I can go on and on about this. I'm not going to go on. You get the idea. You get the concept here. So small doses, take what you need, turn it off. You don't need the rest of it. Come back inside, think about, okay, where's the common sense here? What makes logical sense of what's going on? Then, what can I do today to make sure my day is as normal as it possibly can be? How can I take action? What action can I take? Can I be building? Can I be learning? Can I be teaching? If you're feeling lonely, I know a lot of people are experiencing that. It's been a long time. Human beings are biologically wired to be around other human beings. We're not, wired to be alone. You want to really punish someone, you put them in what? Solitary confinement. Why? Because the absence of other people around is really, really difficult. I get it. So we've got tools today. If this happened in 2008, we would be screwed because we wouldn't have FaceTime and Skype and Teams and Zoom and all the rest of the tools that we've got to be able to do video conferencing. So I'm going to encourage you to use those tools. Just create more time to get on and speak with friends you haven't spoken to in a while, relatives you haven't spoken to in a while, right? How about business people you've done business with, or associates, or people who are in the same business as you? Hey, how you doing? I've been speaking with other coaches and saying, what are you guys doing right now? You know what? Coaching is good. We're signing up new clients right now because people are realizing they don't want to go back to the life they had. They want something different. Now is a good time to get a coach and to start working on that stuff. So when things open up, and they will open back up, they're on a more solid footing going forward. So you want to be looking at all the things that you can be doing and do as many of them as you possibly can. And that'll start to help you feel a little bit better. If you're feeling lonely, reach out. And if you know somebody who might be lonely, reach out to them. I've been doing that as well. because it makes a big difference versus when you're lonely. Sometimes, you don't feel like you want to call anyone because, oh my gosh, you don't want to burden them. But if you know somebody who is lonely, it's so much better if you call them. It makes a big difference and really lights up their day. So those are the updates for right now, April 16 here in 2020. I think California shut down on March 19th. And, we're looking at just about 30 days here. And boy, it's gone faster than I thought it would. But, like I said, it's faster for me only because I'm really working hard at keeping in action and keeping the balls rolling as much as possible. Business-wise, yeah, it's completely different. Nothing's the same as it was, but certainly I'm working at keeping my, my spirits up and making sure that I'm doing things that are building up the testosterone levels so that I can relax in the evening and, get things done that will help me once the economy opens back up, and it will probably within the next 2 weeks. We'll start to see some movement there. So I want to leave you with that. If you have any questions, comments, please reach out. My email address is the same as it's been for a very long time, robert@ultimatewealth.com. You want to send me a quick email and say hi, that would be fantastic. Or you can reach me on all the social media sites as well, at Robert Imbriale on most of the social media sites. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll look forward to seeing you again real soon. Stay safe, stay strong, stay positive. Things are going to get better, I promise.